It was a big beat for Pfizer in the first quarter on both earnings and revenue, and the company raised its full-year forecast. A lot of this driven by the strength of the COVID-19 vaccine, which brought in $3.5 billion in first quarter sales. The company now saying it sees 2021 revenue from the vaccine of $26 billion. That's up from $15 billion it had previously seen, based on the 1.6 billion doses and contracts it signed for this year. But the company says that even excluding the vaccine, revenue in the first quarter grew 8%, and that's including a negative impact of 5% from pricing for its other products. Now, the company also laying out the milestones we should be looking at this year for the vaccine, including coming up at the end of this month, they'll file for full approval of the COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S. for people ages 16 to 85. In July, they expect results from their booster trial for the shot of COVID-19, which they think we might have to get this fall or winter, and potentially submit for emergency use authorization in July. Expecting phase 2 safety data for pregnant women in July or August, and then going down and getting results in younger children down to ages 2 with potential submission in September, and then down to ages 6 months in November, and potentially submitting to the FDA with those data as well. So we'll have Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla on with us later today in the exchange to talk about all of this and the rest of the business. Becky?
Hey, Meg, just to go back to that timeline, because this is big news, not just on the earnings front and looking at how well that company performed, even without the additional revenue they were getting from the vaccine. Taking this next step, if you've got 12 to 15-year-olds who might be cleared by the FDA for emergency use authorization now, and the timeline you just showed was that September was when they'd be giving the results most likely to the FDA for ages 2 to 5 and then 5 to 11. Does that mean by late September, you might anticipate that kids who are going to be in elementary school and preschool would be able to go ahead and get that vaccination?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it depends on how the results look and then how the FDA looks at it and how the CDC's advisory committee looks at it. But yes, we could be looking at toward the end of this year, the vaccine becoming available for kids as young as 2. And then, you know, they're testing it even down to age 6 months. And so they are moving in that direction pretty quickly.
I mean, you said the end of this year, but if they get the results in September, you would think September, October. And it makes a difference because right now rates are coming down, COVID rates are coming down, but Scott Gottlieb and others have warned us that you might see an increase in cases again as we get closer to the winter months when people are coming inside and don't have the option of being outside as much. Is that something that you think would be earlier potentially? Have you heard that at all? Or is the company still sticking to that conservative guidance of saying just by the end of the year?
Well, all we have from the company is what they put out this morning, which is when they plan to file to the FDA, and then it's in the FDA's hands. And there's just no determining how quickly the FDA will act on it and if they'll take longer to evaluate data for younger and younger children. Already the FDA is being criticized by some folks for not already weighing in on 12 to 15-year-olds, and we had those data 3 to 4 weeks ago. But we are expecting potentially to hear from the FDA, according to New York Times, Washington Post reporting, at least for that age group, within the next week.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.